This is Matt Russell, and welcome to the DailyFX Forum.
So here are the four pairs that I will be discussing this evening: the Euro Pound, the Aussie Kiwi, the Pound Swiss, and the Euro Swiss. So let's go ahead and pull up the charts. The first chart is the Euro Pound. If you recall, during the past several reports, I mentioned the upper resistance line here near the 87 figure and the lower support line near that 84 figure. And with prices now in the middle of the range, or towards the upper middle portion of the range, I would hold off on any entries at this point. With that being said, we might look for short trades near that 87 figure, maybe look to enter just at the 87 figure, maybe a few pips beneath it with a stop, maybe 20 or 30 pips above that line. But we might also wait for candlestick confirmation. It really depends on your individual risk parameters. I like this resistance line. It's not, I don't have very high confidence in it, but certainly we can use it as a reference point. The next chart is the Aussie Kiwi, and if you recall during the past several reports, this is the channel that I've been using. This was a short trade that I recommended a few days back, and I also recommended to take profits here in the middle of the range and look for prices to come down and test the lower support line of the channel. I also mentioned during yesterday's report, I really, in terms of confidence, I don't have too much confidence in this channel line. I'm still going to keep it up at this location. The problem is this penetration here and this slight penetration here, but again, I have enough confidence to leave it up in terms of at least a short-term bounce off the line the first time it's tested once again. So this is what we can use as our reference point. We might look to enter just a few pips above the line with a stop, maybe 50 to 75 pips beneath the line. The next chart is the Pound Swiss, and not much has changed here. This is the longer term support line formed by the late 2008 low and the late March low here, and still just waiting for prices to come down and test this longer term support line. Now let me zoom in a little bit. This was the double top trade that I personally did miss, but it did get within a few pips of the entry level, which would be just above that 81 figure. So if you did enter that trade right now, I'd look to take profits maybe in this area here. Maybe wait for another swing lower as well, and then again wait for prices to come down and test that lower term support line. The next chart is the Euro Swiss, and not much has changed here either. Prices still, I'm waiting for prices to come down and test this longer term support line at this point. And let me zoom in here. I also highlighted the favorable potential reversal pattern, the evening star right here, which is these three candles here completing the pattern. This candle here closing more than halfway down the level of this the first bullish candle in the pattern, and that does confirm the evening star. So right now prices about the 52.87 area. I would maybe look to, if you did enter on the short trade here, I did mention that it did represent too much risk. Personally, I didn't enter on this trade idea, but if you did enter, I would maybe look to take profits on the next swing beneath this low point right here, which is about the 52.65 area, and then again look for the primary trade signal, which is the bounce off the longer term support line formed again by the mid-March low here and the late June low over here. Again, this is Matt Russell. Thank you for listening, and please stay tuned for a preview of the DailyFX Forum. I want to go ahead and formally welcome everybody to the DailyFX Forum, and I want to explain a little bit about the forum and the wealth of information that you can obtain from the forum and how to go about doing so, how to find the things you want. So I'm just going to dive right in right now, and this is DailyFX.com, and this is usually how I navigate my way towards the forums. Obviously, you know, it really depends on each individual how they access the forums, but this is how I go ahead and do it. I go DailyFX.com, go ahead and click on the forum on top, and this brings you to the DailyFX forum homepage, and this highlights the most recent posts with the subject. So if you see anything that you're interested in, you can obviously go ahead and click. What I like to do is click on the forums tab like this, and go ahead and view the forums in the normal, typical way that forums are set up. And here you go, there are a bunch of threads down here. And I'm just going to go ahead and go directly to the forum, the video you just viewed, where you viewed it. So let's go ahead. This is the DailyFX Instructor Tips Forum, identifying trades with DailyFX. That's me. And go ahead and click on the most recent post. So this is where you are right now viewing the video, although the video will be the video beneath this one that you're watching right now. So Normally when I'm on the forums, and what I would do is just scroll up to the top. Certainly you can check out any of my previous videos, and you know, especially if I did mention them in the report or in the video that you're viewing at that moment. And what I will do is go ahead and click on the forums, and then look for the forums that I like, you know, that I have interest in. One of them would be the Euro Dollar forum, and this, again, it's really up to each individual trader as to exactly how they want to use the forum. Personally, what I like to do, the first thing I do is I'll go to the Euro Dollar thread, I'll go and click on the latest post. And what I'll do here is, and again, I just want to, you know, really emphasize this point. It depends on your exact mindset when you're viewing. And me as a trader, I have some experience. So what I do and how I personally use the forum is I go through and I'll read what people are saying about the euro, what their trade ideas are. I certainly, you know, try to maintain my own individual objectivity, and I really don't pay much attention to what other traders are saying in terms of my trading. I'm not going to certainly see something on a forum and then go jump into a trade, but what it will do, it will open my eyes to certain trading opportunities, maybe a certain line or a certain time frame that I haven't looked at before. So that's one way that I personally like to utilize the DailyFX forum. But certainly for newer traders, there are plenty of topics that you can go over. Let's say, you know, you might not be well versed in terms of certain currency pairs that you want to learn about. Scalping, you might not know what Elliott wave is. You can go ahead and click there and see exactly what you can, you know, what you can understand, what you might not understand, and then certainly feel free to ask questions about any of these topics that you have. Maybe the carry trade, maybe you have some questions about that, or the sentiment, the SSI, or the latest economic news, FX programmers, the webinars, MT4. Any questions about active trader, you can go ahead and click on those threads. So again, it's very free, very open, and there is a wealth of information here and just waiting for to be utilized. Again, this is Matt Russell. Thank you for listening.